welcome to this HighSpots.com TNA release. We are in Mooresville, North Carolina at Lake Norman High School, and it is kicking off with a bang earlier than we anticipated. We're about 5 minutes away from our scheduled bell time. We called it in the spirit of Memorial Day. We had a volunteer out of the crowd to sing the anthem, and Team Canada's Petey Williams has interrupted the start of the show. Brad Stutt's in the commentary in the high spots. Skybox along with Grant Sawyer, and back from his TNA hiatus, Jeff Harris.
Well, it wasn't no vacation, Brad. I was just hanging out at that Ultimate Experience before the show, and it got a little wild. I couldn't make it back up to the Skybox.
I think Petey's going to sing for us.
And making his way to the ring, representing Team USA, Chris Sabin.
And thankfully, Petey Williams' rendition of his national anthem is being interrupted as well.
Well, it looks like two superstars from the X Division are going to kick things off. A little bit of an abrupt start to the evening. As I said, we are at Lake Norman High School in Mooresville, North Carolina. The very first time for TNA Wrestling in the great wrestling state of North Carolina. And gentlemen, it has been a very tumultuous few weeks in TNA since we last joined you on a UWF event. The World X Cup has come and gone. We'll get back to that in this contest, I'm sure. Kevin Nash has resurfaced, and Slammiversary, the anniversary pay-per-view, is only a few weeks away, featuring King of the Mountain 3.
As far as Petey Williams and Chris Sabin are concerned, the X Cup is far from over, because these are the two of the athletes that define everything the X Division is about.
It was just a few weeks ago on pay-per-view, Petey Williams survived the X Division gauntlet to put 5 points on the board for Canada and cause a tie in the X Cup, the World X Cup. It was decided that Team Canada captain Petey Williams and Team USA captain Chris Sabin would face off in a singles contest to determine the World X Cup. Sabin came out the victor, and you've got to believe that Petey is looking for revenge.
And that's where we find ourselves now here in Mooresville, a rematch of that World X Cup Championship deciding match. Chris Sabin and Petey Williams, and you better believe Memorial Day weekend, everybody in Mooresville is behind the USA captain, Sabin.
Well, I tell you, Petey did not do anything to redeem himself to these fans here in the heart of the Carolinas. Sabin up and over.
Going for the powerbomb on the outside, but instead, Petey hangs on and drops straight down with a leg drop.
You know, Brad, I was in that Ultimate Experience earlier tonight where the fans get to meet all the wrestlers, get their autographs and everything. They serve you a lot of food, and I understand you missed out again.
They had another one of those?
They had one, Brad, but I found out why you wasn't invited. They were afraid that Petey wearing that red jersey to him, you might mistake him for a shrimp, dip him in some cocktail sauce and try to eat him.
He is kind of tiny.
Petey Williams taking the action back in the ring, hammering away on Sabin.
That right cross is nothing to scoff at, though. Petey Williams, the Team Canada captain for a reason, survived the bout against Jushin Thunder Liger and the CTU and came back to win the X Division gauntlet and put Team Canada on the board in the World X Cup Finals. Cover only gets 2, and gentlemen, we've talked several times about the reputation of the UWF officiating staff. Another very big acquisition, former WCW referee Jamie Tucker making his debut.
Tucker came out of the Omega Federation, originally where he was a referee at. Did an excellent job, and so many great athletes started in Omega that made the big time, and one of those will be in the main event tonight, Jeff Hardy.
Petey, big backbreaker, cover. Jamie right there, but only a count of 2.
This energetic crowd in Mooresville certainly getting on the case of Petey Williams, who's finally become distracted by their constant chanting at him.
It is a high level of energy from these fans that have braved the elements to join us in Mooresville. I hear there was a tornado that touched down a couple of miles from the building earlier this afternoon, around 6 o'clock this evening.
That's exactly right, but the fans just keep pouring in here in Mooresville. Traffic for the race, traffic for Memorial Day weekend, but they're here tonight for this TNA total nonstop action.
Something very fitting about a tornado touching down just a few miles away from the 6-sided ring of TNA.
That's a great analogy as the X Division athletes kicking things off. 2 of the prize students of the X Division, the prize students of the game.
Now we've got Petey Williams trying to slow things down. He was going with all the high-flying action. Nothing could get a pinfall on Chris Sabin. Now he's going down to the basics, got a rear chin lock, trying to cut that wind flow out, make it possible to score a pin.
I think I would call Petey the more physically intense of these 2 guys. Maybe the harder hitter, definitely stockier in build. And he is bringing that intensity, that Team Canada intensity into this contest as he just took all the air out of the sternum of Chris Sabin.
Both are really incredibly conditioned. The thing with these 2 athletes is it can end in 5 seconds or it can end in a half hour.
Oh, he's going to sing again for us, men. Signs off a little early. Chris Sabin, undoubtedly thankful for that.
Thankfully he wasn't mic'd on that one.
Petey Williams, no stranger to bending the rules. Team Canada, he came out here and interrupted the national anthem. I wouldn't expect anything less from someone like that.
Well, what a rotten attitude for Petey Williams. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's a great time to celebrate everything that's great about the country. What a rotten attitude for Petey Williams.
He walks around with a chip on his shoulder. The bad thing is that chip's almost as big as he is.
Petey Williams, once again, definitely has not endeared himself to anyone here at TNA.
But despite his attitude, he is the practitioner of the most feared finishing maneuver in all professional wrestling currently, the Canadian Destroyer, as these fans are encouraging Sabin back to his feet, off the ropes, under one clothesline, one from behind. Here's a count, but only a 2.
That was great wrestling from Sabin. He ate that knee to the gut earlier and avoided it this time, but put a kick right in the forehead of Petey Williams.
That was a jumping roundhouse kick right to the face. You're talking about changing the momentum of a match. You catch a shot like that right in the mud, brother, it's going to change everything about this match.
Referee laying a countdown on both athletes. Sabin has all the momentum in the world right now with these fans behind him, if he can just find some way to capitalize on it.
I mean, it echoed off the walls here at Lake Norman High School.
Sabin with a diving elbow right to the face, but didn't catch it full strength.
Stops the foot of Petey Williams.
Sabin having a little fun at Petey's expense. Drop kicks the knee. Double guns and a big time. Double feet to the face.
It might be a good time for Petey Williams to take a powder because he's right for the pickage right now.
Chris Sabin finding his groove. Unique takedown into a pinning predicament.
He tried to do that move that Shocker does, who we've seen in TNA, specifically in the World X Cup, tagging with Magno, my good friend from El Paso.
Stuffs him on the powerbomb. Here's the count. Chris Sabin cannot hold the shoulders of Petey Williams down.
2 and 3/4 on the near fall.
Doesn't get much closer than that. Sabin thought he had it. All these fans in Mooresville thought he had it. And I did too with that turnaround, sit-out powerbomb.
But Chris Sabin cannot let a 2 count discourage him at this point. He still has Petey in the palm of his hand.
Dueling chance. Petey Williams, the athleticism of the Team Canada captain, has won over some of these fans. And Petey
Caught Sabin coming in all the way around. Swinging neckbreaker.
There's a Russian leg sweep by Petey Williams. What a nice move.
It was great wrestling from Williams, like him or not. He was on his game, and now he appears to be setting up for his moneymaker.
He's going for the claw. No. The Canadian Destroyer. Okay, I got you, Brad. I got you.
Does not get it. Roll through.
Sharpshooter, going for the sharpshooter. He's got it down in the center of the six-sided ring.
Petey Williams has got Sabin trapped. Sabin will have to escape. He is not near the ropes at all. He will have to escape or tap.
Tremendous positioning by Petey Williams, and Chris Sabin looks to be just seconds away from tapping out of this one.
Sabin made such a great move countering that Canadian Destroyer, turned it into a pinfall situation, but Petey Williams rolled through and was able to set up for the submission hold that has Sabin so close, but he makes the ropes.
Petey just barely makes the ropes.
Amazing heart and determination by Chris Sabin to power his way out of that sharpshooter by Petey.
And now Petey is visibly frustrated. He's lost his cool for the first time in the contest.
But much like we saw with Sabin earlier, Petey cannot let that get him distracted, get him away from the mission at hand. Runs right into the kick by Sabin.
Boy, Sabin caught him, looked like right in the rib cage.
Sabin with a big boot right to the face in the corner. I'm telling you what, he's had the most success tonight with his feet. I don't know if he's had martial arts training, but he's definitely delivered it tonight.
And Petey is stuck in what they used to call the tree of woe.
He's going to give him some payback, I believe here, Brad.
How many times have we seen Petey Williams put his opposition in the corner?
Jumping, drop kick, a la Negro Casas from Mexico. I've seen him do it so many times, and I got to tell you, Sabin did a mighty good job doing it himself.
Well, he didn't just jump, he floated into that drop kick. Cradle shock, no, Williams avoids the contact. Center of the ring, no! Sabin's got the cradle shock, but Williams goes to the eyes.
Incredible jockeying position by both athletes. Both of them going for their finisher. Neither man being able to lock it in. Canadian Destroyer!
And Sabin is seeing stars.
The one maneuver in professional wrestling that no one has ever kicked out of, and Chris Sabin cannot do it tonight. be a huge opportunity for the X division, as two of the premier athletes in that division, Chris Sabin and Sonjay Dutt, are going to take on the NWA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted, in this non-title contest.
Incredible athleticism is going to be on display. As usual, the champions hesitant and downright refusing to put the belts on the line. Although in this one, I'm not sure if I blame him on that one, because Sabin and Dutt are a very impressive duo and could walk away with a huge upset tonight. I wouldn't want the belts on the line either if I was Storm and Harris.
And you talk about a lightning quick tag team. Chris Sabin, Sonjay Dutt, these two guys are so quick. What's the saying, Brad? They're so quick.
They're not just quick, they're sudden.
I'm talking about the one that they turn off the light and they get into bed before the light goes out.
Well,
but they are so quick. The moves that these two can do, they have some phenomenal impact moves coming off the ropes. And Sabin has the driver that he drops the guys on top of their heads. They can easily knock off the tag team champions tonight in a non-title match and instantly elevate themselves into contenders on a future event and get a title shot.
the Cowboy is not endearing himself to the fans at ringside at all, talking some junk.
Of course, Hermie Sadler could put together his dream card, but unfortunately he cannot always dictate actual championship matches and when the titles are on the line, because I'm sure if it was up to Hermie Sadler, you better believe the titles would be on the line right now.
Well,
there's Jeff Harris's favorite chant.
His fans are chanting about the hometown of America's Most Wanted. That's Brokeback Mountain, West Virginia.
It's not confirmed yet, Jeff.
I thought we confirmed it last
No confirmation of that.
It's just not confirmed. It's West Virginia.
It's a rumor that a lot of people, a lot of these fans believe that they are from Brokeback Mountain, West Virginia.
My good friend T-Dog has said that he's seen them in Brokeback Mountain before.
We've got the bell in this tag team match with the champs taking on two of the quickest X Division competitors in TNA.
Of course, the war between the Naturals and AMW goes back years. The titles have switched hands numerous times between those two teams. America's Most Wanted 6-time NWA World Tag Team Champions.
Sabin, no slouch physically himself. He's in great condition. Right now trying to fight his way out of that side headlock from the Cowboy, but James Storm just mows over Chris Sabin, the captain of Team USA, up and over. And Sabin will affect AMW's post-match activities with that one.
An inverted atomic drop followed by a traditional atomic drop. Now Sabin looking to shoot him off the ropes, up and over, but Sabin catches him.
Came right down on the knee of Sabin. That's 3 shots to the lower midsection.
Extreme lower midsection. Shoot off. I think there was a tag.
Sonjay getting in on the same move.
No tag. Sonjay just interjected himself.
And he just backed himself right into the turnpost.
James Storm couldn't have a worse start to a match.
The Cowboy, I'm sure he wished he could quit this match.
Sabin all over the Cowboy who seeks comfort with his partner.
What's he doing there? Hey, I'm telling you, if it's not confirmed, it's confirmed. There, Brokeback Mountain right there. Brokeback Mountain, West Virginia.
It's just the new school double noggin knocker.
AMW off their game big time so far.
The quickness is certainly paying off for Sonjay Dutt and Chris Sabin in this match so far. They've not only looked good, but they're humiliating the tag team champions here in Greensboro.
How many times have the NWA World Tag Team Championships been defended in the city of Greensboro? What a great tradition that could have been continued tonight if AMW were the fighting champions that they claim to be.
Of course, they care nothing about the tradition and heritage of Greensboro. They care about their own personal wealth and gain, which is exactly why the titles aren't on the line.
Well, the Cowboy made a tag after showing his manlyhood, got right out of the ring and tagged in his partner, the Wildcat, Chris Harris, into the ring to face Sonjay Dutt.
Harris with a big-time size advantage over the original player from the Himalaya. But man, that heart of Sonjay is bigger than AMW, maybe bigger than this building.
I was thinking along those same lines. AMW united by the gold. Dutt and Sabin united by the heart, which is what should make them a tremendous tag team combination.
Sonjay, in the early months of the UWF promotion, now as I guess we're rapidly approaching month 6 here in 2006. We started off in January, and Sonjay maybe has been the MVP of the UWF shows all the time, producing exciting and innovative, action every single time.
And his win-loss record is not too shabby either in these contests.
Sonjay with some Hindu squats. He got Bentley with that one last night.
The Hindu flop, sidestep, out of the ring goes AMW.
He got Bentley with that one last night, and that will teach AMW not to watch the rest of the card.
Sonjay using his brain instead of his brawn. He couldn't stand up for a shoulder tackle. He simply sidestepped it, put his foot out, and sent America's Most Wanted tumbling. It was great. This is why I like the X Division guys. They use their brains. They don't have to rely just on power.
Sidestep. The Wildcat hits the canvas hard. Deep arm drag. Dragon-esque from Sonjay Dutt.
That's what they're going to have to do this entire time. Hit and move, because that's what's going to lead Sabin and Dutt to victory here tonight.
AMW off their game, still hits the post hard.
Quickness. Wait a minute, America's Most Wanted is getting their favorite move to go behind. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Jim.
Just a little bit of male bonding.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, there is now.
Inadvertent headbutt from his partner. And America's Most Wanted is getting the chant from Brokeback Mountain here. The fans in Greensboro, both members on the floor trying to get their game plan back together. Certainly hadn't seen any of it so far in this match.
You know, most wrestlers like it when fans chant their hometown.
One of the greatest tag teams ever in our sport. Spent so much time in the Carolinas, the Andersons. They were famous for picking one part of the anatomy and working it over the entire contest. But I don't think I've ever seen the tag team work over the opponent's groin the entire course of the contest. More innovation from the X Division guys.
You just never know what you're going to get from the X Division.
It certainly will slow down the competition. America's Most Wanted hadn't been able to get on track at all. And those impacts definitely will not allow them to get any speed going in this match.
It's not the backs they're going to have to worry about being broken this one. Very, very sporadic cowboy chants. James Storm must have his family here tonight.
Storm able to get a knee up right out of that lockup, but he couldn't follow it up. Sabin able to duck out of the way and deliver some big punches.
You can't take your time with these X Division guys. You got to go for the killing quick. Sabin catches him with the elbow coming in.
Tag team wrestling right there, Jeff Harris.
You saw that. Chris Harris able to make the move, catch Sabin napping as he moved out of the way with a clothesline, and it's changed the dynamics of this match in a hurry.
Storm all over Sabin now, taking him to the corner and tossing him outside the ring for Harris to jump on.
This is where the X Division competitors, who are usually much lighter weight, are at a disadvantage. They use that quickness and speed earlier, but once you get hit from a big heavyweight, you're going to slow down fast, and they're taking advantage of it in the ring now and outside of the ring as well.
Cowboy doing a little taunting of Sonjay Dutt. Looked like he may have stretched a hamstring or pulled a hammy, taunting the original player from the Himalaya. Nevertheless, they've got Sabin on the receiving end of a big knee drop.
Just a 2 count, though, from senior official Brian Hebner.
Boy, the Hebners does not get any better for officiating than Brian and Earl Hebner. We've talked about it so many times before, and even without the belts on the line, in a match of this caliber, you've got to have one of the Hebners in charge of the action.
Oh, here we go, the alley-copter. One of my favorite moves. Al Perez perfected it in the old world class. James Storm bringing it back.
Making it, I thought he was going for a tag. I guess it was just a high five and then going for the cover.
Interesting that Brian Hebner did not call the tag on that. I guess just a little celebratory tactic. And now they're going to make the switch without the tag.
There's a delayed tag. America's Most Wanted storing up tags.
Interesting strategy from the champions.
It's an idea. I don't know. I'm not sure that's legal at TNA. That's what it looked like they're trying to pull on us.
When you've been hit 12 times in the span of 5 minutes below the belt, your brain's not working that well. Isn't that right, Grant?
Oh, Sabin just took a punch, knocked him right off the second rope that he was leaning against. And America's Most Wanted is definitely in complete control right now. Sonjay Dutt is forced to just watch at ringside, hoping his partner could come in and make a tag.
Harris did not hook the leg the first time. He learned from his mistake, hooked the leg the second time, but by then it was too late.
Great maneuver from the champions as Harris, so many times you see an opponent slip out of that go-behind, and Harris did not let Sabin get to a vertical base. He was practically standing over the man. He wasn't going to weasel out of that at all. Good move from the champions. Almost brings him a 3 count. Sonjay was there to break it up.
AMW has certainly slowed down the pace. And now Storm trying to wear out Chris Sabin.
Well, they're playing to their advantages. You're heavier weight. You're a bigger person. You want to trap that guy, slow him down, cut off his best attributes, which is speed and quickness. Cut off that wind flow, use your weight to your advantage. America's Most Wanted is wrestling a good game now that they've got it on track.
Cowboy back to the hair. Sorry, go ahead, Grant.
Blatant hair pull.
Cowboy back to the hair. The champions so not afraid to use those underhanded tactics.
Wow, what a haymaker. You can hear that all over the Boys and Girls Club here in Greensboro. Might have to check some teeth after that one.
Storm positioning Sabin, shoot him into that corner, and hard. Storm full steam ahead, catches the kick, the mule kick in the lower abdomen.
Those educated feet of Chris Sabin brought him success last night.
Sabin, I'm telling you what, those blows that he can deliver from his feet are incredible. Last night we saw it against Petey Williams. Tonight he's using it against America's Most Wanted, and your legs are much stronger than your arms on every human being that's got legs at least. And that's where you're going to get more power, being able to counter the heavyweights, put those big kicks, big roundhouse, big spin kicks, drop kicks off the top. And he's now able to make the tag.
Great insight, Jeff Harris, as Sonjay Dutt is in. That quickness is going to have to counteract the champ.
Big inside curve by Sonjay Dutt, drives the knees into the upper chest, and now look at this, all the way around, wheelbarrow bulldog.
Great quickness, Hebner right there, but only 2.
Harris able to make the save, breaking up that pinfall. Sonjay had it wrapped up.
Sonjay avoids the contact, goes to the middle of the ropes and springboards with 1 foot for each member of the AMW.
The kip up, and this crowd is electrified by the incredible Sonjay Dutt. A side moonsault on both of them.
Cover! Woo! That was the close.
I thought it was all over with. Somehow they were able to kick out. Now we've got all 4 competitors in the ring at opposite turnbuckles in the 6-sided ring.
Sonjay Dutt boxed Chris Sabin enough time so he could recuperate, get to his feet. Oh, look at this! Hurricane Rana by Dutt!
Amazing athleticism from Sonjay. Sabin is gonna put him in the tree of woe. Just about has him. Yes, that foot is underneath the top turnbuckle, and we saw Sabin float through the air with that drop kick last night.
Oh, what a leaping drop kick. Looking just like Negro Casas from across the border. Beautiful drop kick right to the face.
Precision from the Team USA captain and his Team USA teammate. Sonjay Dutt is going to the 3rd floor.
Sabin and Dutt have aimed him right where they want him, but look at Dutt crashing to the floor, catches Sabin.
Dutt saw the Wildcat, but there was nothing he could do about it. It was too quick, and now AMW could be going for the death sentence, could be going for the heart attack. Sonjay catches him, cross body.
He broke up that double team maneuver. Now Sabin off the top of the tornado DDT. Sonjay, shooting star press. Oh my God, I can't believe he couldn't have got any closer. What happened?
Once again,
The referee was pulled out of the ring. That was going to be a 3 count for sure.
A blink of an eye, and this one would have been over.
once again it was the tactics of AMW. The hair, the tights, anything they can get their hands on. In that case, it was the official, and now Dutt is left alone. Big time move, but no referee to count.
And it's a steel chain, or it's the handcuffs.
It's the handcuffs of AMW.
Clock, Dutt right in the back of his head, pulls his partner on top.
The Cowboy is on top. AMW is going to steal another one.
This is highway robbery.
They're going to steal this one in Greensboro.
The
And the
champ
winner of your match
winning
is
again.
still NWA Tag Team Champions, America.
three-way robbery in Greensboro.
How many times has AMW flat out stolen one from whether it be the Natural, Sabin and Dutt? The list goes on and on. Every time we see him, it's something like this.
One day, as AMW likes to say, guilty, one day the champions are going to have to face their justice. Harris, I'm glad we just came back from intermission and had a chance to catch our breath, because we're going to need all of that breath to call the Fast and Furious four-way X Division shootout. It is Chris Sabin, Shark Boy, Eric Young, and your favorite wrestler, Petey Williams.
Well, Brad, I was almost late getting here because Christy Hemme just wouldn't let me go.
Is that what you were doing in
She was
intermission?
signing autographs, doing pictures.
I turned and you were gone.
And I told her I have responsibilities. I have to call the action here. So here we are for the four-way X Division match. What a matchup. Chris Sabin, Shark Boy, Eric Young, and Petey Williams, all four accomplished X Division competitors. And you talk about total non-stop action. That is what you're going to have in this match right here.
And it's also an issue in a bout of survival. The first fall is going to win this thing. So you've got to be on your toes. You've got to wrestle offensively and defensively at the same time. You want to win the match, but you want to keep not only yourself, but anyone else from losing the match if you're not in the ring. And Young is really having a hard time and finally gets out of that arm wringer from Shark Boy.
Well, when you have multi-competitors in a matchup like this, it does change the dynamics. As you said, with one fall, when you're sitting on the outside and resting up, you still have to be prepared to move to try to prevent a fall in the ring when your opponents are in there. Now we got a crisscross in the six-sided ring.
It's a lot of sides for them potentially to be crisscrossing.
This looks like a blow-up drill.
And Eric Young gonna catch his breath.
And I think they both did. Both of them ran out of gas. And a tag, I don't blame them.
They're gonna catch a breather, and now two of the stars of the X Division, two former X Division champions in Sabin and Williams tagged in. It really does, this format does really create an interesting dynamic, Jeff. The principle in any match is try to win, try not to lose. But in a match like this, you've got to try to win, try not to lose, and try not to keep anyone else from winning or losing if you're not involved in the action.
Nice cartwheel by Sabin around a la Octagon with that arm drag into another one. Sabin busting out all the lucha moves here in this match. Sonjay Dutt impressed me earlier with his array of lucha arm drags, and Sabin following it right up.
I think maybe they've been mixing some Lucha Libre action tapes in with that jackass they've been watching lately.
They have to with those moves that Sabin is delivering here tonight. Oh, and a tag, blind tag by Eric Young to get in against his former partner, former Team Canada member, Petey Williams.
Sabin gave him the double thumb and I think was going to go for that big drop kick. And Chris Sabin hits those drop kicks with as much precision as anyone I've ever seen. Young has tagged himself in, and now we've got Petey trying to reason with Eric Young. And I think that was transparent to everyone in the building but for Eric.
Petey with a poke to the eyes of Eric Young. He's going to shoot in the ropes, but up and over Eric into the ropes, slides under Petey, and a thumb poke from Eric Young, returning the favor. Oh, nice Northern Light suplex, could be a three. Petey able to kick out. Eric, proud of his excellent job. Listen to the crowd. Full support of Eric Young.
Oh, Sabin. Oh, now puts the foot in the back of the head of Petey. Those kicks from Sabin, such precision. And now Sabin, no, reversed. Williams ready, got nothing. All the way over the top rope. Oh, God.
Petey leaned right into that, and he also leaned right into our ringside microphone, as I believe it just hit the deck.
Leg drop from Williams. And the Petey chants ring out through the Siegel Center.
Sabin rolls back into the ring. Petey Williams following close behind. He's going to try to add to that. He's got him flipped upside down into the tree of woe. Petey going to load up and charge into Sabin. Oh, no.
Oh, we know exactly what he's going to do.
No, now we're going to hear the Canadian national anthem as he stands on the crotch of Chris Sabin. The fans not too happy about that. Now we're going to hook him up with a suplex. Petey Williams, nice leg lace. And he's got a rear chin lock to add to the pain that he's putting in Chris Sabin. Fans trying to fire up Sabin to get out of that block. He's making it up to his knees, now to his feet, firing out. Loosening up that headlock, but look, Petey Williams got a handful of hair and just slammed him to the mat. Then, like a coward he is, whatever their tag, Shark Boy. Ooh, big chop, Shark Boy. Not known, you think about a Shark, not going to be dropping some chops. You're looking for that big bite from the Shark. Now he's putting the punches in the corner, but Sabin able to push him off. And Shark Boy with a big elbow. Sabin having a hard time turning around, but he did with that kick right to the midsection of Shark Boy. Runs into the corner. Petey Williams makes a blind tag and rolls Shark Boy up in a schoolboy pack. No, Shark Boy able to kick out. Petey Williams definitely trying to take advantage of the situation. Now he's unloading some punches.
Williams getting in the face of referee John Hall. I tried to go to the ring and see if I couldn't do something about the ring mic situation, Jeff. The ringside fans are packed so tightly I couldn't get down there.
Petey gonna jump in there with a big drop kick right to the kidneys of Shark Boy. I'd speak to John Hall about those kidney blows. You can't do that in professional wrestling.
Well, normally John Hall is at the top of his game as an official, but it's gotta be hard. You gotta hit him. It's gotta be hard to keep up with 4 X Division wrestlers like this. You don't normally see Eric Young grouped in with the X Division, but man, he's got some innovative moves. He's got some moves as innovative as anybody. That wheelbarrow neckbreaker for one.
Eric Young, speaking of, he's in the ring now after the tag from Petey Williams. Big body slam. He's going to go for the pin. Only a 2 count. Sabin and Williams definitely trying to rest up at this point. Shark Boy, oh, nice counter. Dropped him right into his shin. There's a blind tag again by Petey Williams. So he's wrestling a very smart match, letting the other guy do the work, then making a blind tag to come in and capitalize on the offense that was delivered by his opponent.
That's what it's all about. Try to win, try not to lose, and make sure the fall doesn't happen when you're not legally in the bout. Petey, thus far, I think you're right. I think he's been wrestling the smartest matchup of the 4. Eric Young puts together some crafty things from time to time, but not generally known as one of the smarter wrestlers on the TNA roster. I really think Eric plays dumb sometimes.
Petey trying to make his own break here by attacking Shark Boy and Sabin, then going to the top on Eric Young, but Eric Young shoves him off, and look at this!
Picture perfect elbow drop. Once again, a smart move from Eric Young. I just got it out of my mouth. He wants everyone to think he's more gullible than he is. But picture perfect elbow, but he did not get over to make the cover. He's wanting to tag out.
There's the tag to Sabin, who's been resting on ringside.
I don't follow the logic on that at all, Jeff.
Nice, well, Brad, maybe that the big drop took more out of it than you thought.
It may be. Eric is down on the apron. I don't think he felt he was able to make the cover. And now Sabin is a house of fire. He's going to have to get back in the ring, or Sabin's going to pick up this victory.
A missile drop kick by Chris Sabin. Now he's going to tie up Petey in the corner. A little bit of retaliation, perhaps. Oh, Necro Costas would be proud of that one. The jumping drop kick right to the face.
He had about 3 to 5 seconds worth of hang time on that drop kick and hit it with precision. Knee to the head, blocks the suplex. Williams, a resourceful move, and now Shark Boy makes the tag. It was a really resourceful move from Petey, but he didn't really get to capitalize on it because Shark Boy is all over it.
Petey trying to grab the tights of Shark Boy to stop these punches.
He bit the man.
The Shark bite. Oh, wait a minute, Sabin. Oh, what? Big God. Mafia-style kick right to the face. Oh, hold on. Wheelbarrow move. You talked about it right.
Wheelbarrow neckbreaker from Eric Young. Cover. Oh, but everyone else was not incapacitated. You're not going to get a cover that way. It really has to be down to you and the man you're trying to score the pin on in a situation like this.
Shark Boy just went swimming. Eric Young up and flipping Ric Flair-like.
I went to the top but got caught. We're going to fly, it looks like.
Where's Petey? He's on the floor. Shark Boy chasing him.
I can't see Petey over the apron, I don't think.
Oh, my. Oh, Brent. Oh, right.
Oh, God!
What a move. All 3 competitors down. The only one that wasn't was Petey Williams, who's hiding at ringside trying to Shark Boy with the cover, but no. Sabin able to kick out. Sharp Boy going for another cover on Eric Young. Young kicks out.
Well, if Petey's hiding, now would be an excellent time to come out of hiding because everybody is down in the ring except for Sharky, who hits a big dive onto Petey. Young and Sabin back in the ring, duck of the line. Step up Enziguri from Chris Sabin. Hail Michigan's favorite son. Tornado DDTs sends Eric Young all the way to the floor. And now Sabin and Sharp Boy, the remaining two in the ring. Sharp Boy gets the boot up. Action fast and furious. Could be going for the deep sea drop. And got him! He spiked the neck and jaw of Chris Sabin with the deep sea drop, but Williams is in the ring! Could it be?
He's hooking him up, Brad.
Canadian Destroyer! Right on his fin!
I think they're going to have a special on shark fin soup after this match.
They must, because Petey just creamed Shark Boy to pick up the win in this four-way X Division shootout.